When was the last time that ADA had 2 green weekend days? It's been a while. It hasn't happened in quite some time. Not since that first week in March, which was obviously a very exciting one for ADA. But the fun hasn't stopped from the weekend. It has actually bled over to the early part of the week. We're seeing some green so far for ADA today, and BTC is making a very nice breakout, actually above 107K. And this is the highest price we've seen since all the way back here on May 29th. And we'll definitely talk about that because it's looking like retail is going to have a very important test as the week progresses. I do want to talk about that. I want to talk about something that I don't think quite hit the way I wanted it to when we talked about it a few days ago, as well as just a couple other things taking place around the crypto space. So again, if you guys haven't already shown your support for the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. The channel's been growing like crazy, and it's all because of you guys. So we're seeing a very nice green candle day for ADA once again. We have the Verge right now to see the highest prices that we have seen since probably about Thursday or so, after we had our big drop around the crypto space. Now, this is a great start. I'm hoping that U.S. retail decides to continue. Once U.S. money wakes up, we'll have an idea if this is going to be the recurring theme for the day, is just a sea of green. But we definitely are getting some momentum from BTC. BTC making some very strong moves above its 20-day moving average. That is a great sign for the crypto market. And although ADA did not close its weekly candle above that 50-week moving average, right now we are slightly above this. We're basically right at it, but we're slightly above it. We have the potential to turn this into a big flip week across the crypto market. And I think that there's going to be an important retail test. And what I mean by that is, if we look at BTC dominance, we've been doing this very consistent action, and that is these breakouts above trend, coming back down, testing our 50-day moving average, bounce, breach this once again, come down, bounce off of this. So what you're seeing is basically that retail uncertainty that we were talking about, that retail PTSD. That if you guys missed my video from the field yesterday, you should go watch that. But that's exactly what we've been talking about. So I wouldn't be surprised if, over the course of this week, we come down, at least breach this 20-day moving average, but really have a shot at testing our 50-day once again. And then retail is going to make a decision. Do they freak out and send us back up? Or do we finally get that breach that we've been waiting for? And do we start to see alts take a leg versus BTC? That's the big question. Now, what I will say here is that, again, this is what I think a lot of people miss. It was not a very viewed video for whatever reason, but ADA is doing a historic retest right now. And this actually has to do with the ADA BTC chart. We can see it right now actually coming down and testing these tops from all the way back here in basically August through late September of 2024, coming back down, testing this, getting ready for its next extension to the upside. And we did this exact same thing last market cycle. All right. We were coming back down. We were testing these tops from basically September, November of 2019, came back down here, retested. And that was actually when ADA made its biggest moves yet. That's when we basically extended into that third retest on the ADA BTC chart that caused our breakout, right? Right now we've had one. Here's our second, right? This is kind of grouped in here, but we're waiting for that third retest somewhere up in here so ADA can extend very hard versus BTC. That's typically what happens once we get into these alt seasons, all right? Now, there is some good news that's obviously helping propel us in the early part of this week. We have the U.S. and China are officially holding trade talks in London, which is a great sign. We obviously know that this has been a big thorn in our side in the crypto market for quite some time. So if there is some positive news that comes from this, you could see the crypto market get a little bit jumpy, as we've seen many times before. That is exactly what brings us to some retail excitement. Something here I wanted to show you guys as well. Someone opened a 20x long worth $53 million in terms of BTC. So there is a lot of open interest once again being open. So we do have to err on the side. But here's what I'll say. I'm cautiously optimistic. Okay. I think that we are getting a little bit of momentum in the market, which is nice. But if it pushes too hard and market makers catch wind of this, or big players in the space catch wind of this, they might try to push things down. We've seen this many times before. But we have seen a very good defensive price here. We saw a nice strong bounce in the crypto market. We're seeing the exact things that we need to see. And we just got to basically sort through the last bit of crap before we make this next extension. We're trying to, again, get to that technical alt season like we talked about. The problem is BTC made such an aggressive move that, most alts weren't outpacing BTC over the last 90 days, which sucks. Actually, ADA had been outpacing BTC, and luckily it's right down here, down about 7.54%, because again, it's coming down from those highs from the early part of March. So the last 90 days have technically not been good for ADA, but you can start to see a lot of assets really attacking BTC in a big way here, percentage-wise. And this could be, again, where we get that technical alt season where you start to see retail excitement rise. So this is the highest level we have been at since all the way back here in the early part of May. So these are some pretty good signs for the market. We'll see how the week shakes up. Don't forget, Wednesday we have a CPI report, hopefully some positive news there. That has definitely played an impact in the crypto market, but this is exactly what we want to see to begin the week. So what do you guys think is going to happen? Do you think we are, in fact, going to confirm this breakdown in terms of BTC dominance? Is retail going to have the same PTSD? They want to let you guys know I did order that hat. I'm very excited for it to show up, so we'll see what it looks like when it gets here. But have a great day. Show your love below. Let me know your thoughts. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.